Well, hey there, thanks for stopping by, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Now this video is just a continuation of part 1, and I've just added more of the underdrawing and getting to the process where we're just about ready to start and do the details. Now it's only a short video. I'll keep it short just so you can find it interesting and easy to follow along. My name's Robbie Greer from Rusticated-Art, and this video is really all about a small token of my appreciation for all the men and women, the volunteers, all the frontline staff who put their lives on the line to help save ours and our property. They are the true heroes of this country, and where would we be without them? Now watch it to the end, because even though it's not a tutorial as such, I'll still be giving you plenty of tips and hints on how to go about drawing, how to go about using graphite and the different tools that we use to create the different effects, the different textures. So what do you reckon? Enough talk, let's get started. Okay, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying out a new clutch pencil that I've just got, and it's the first time I've used it, and it's a 2mm lead, which is quite a thick lead, and it's an HB, and I quite like the feel of it actually. Because it's just a lead, they have a sharpener in the, they come with their own sharpener. Now, as you can see, I'm using the grid method again, or the cutout method, just to put in a bit of detail in here. And like I keep saying, it just helps to keep things in focus for me. It's just like a little piece of the jigsaw. And I'll smooth it over with my blending stump. Move on to the next one. And just putting in a little bit more. See, we're still doing the underdrawing. Well, the line drawing is, yes, it is the line drawing as well, but we obviously have to put lines in and to make it part of the underdrawing. And it's mainly just little guidelines, little marks, just so I know what's going to be dark, what's going to be light. Blend it all in. The areas that are going to be dark and light for the charcoal, where the post is really burnt. Using my little cutout again. There's quite a bit of detail around that area. I just felt it would be easier to use the cutout. Taking the lines from the grid out. I'm just marking the areas now where it's a little bit darker in the reference photos, where the wood's been charred, hasn't been burnt right through. That's just a reminder, so like when I get to that part I'll know that's where the darkness starts and begins, the contrast. Yeah, even though we're sort of beyond the line drawing stage, we're still putting just little lines and marks so I know. It's just a process. Put in the grain of the timber, the bits that stand out. Now I decided, off camera I decided to put in a bit more chain. But as you'll see, that's about to change as well. When you're drawing and you're blending all the time, your work does get a bit smudgy, so you got to keep going back over it. But that's just part of the process. Putting in the little detail bits there, the end of that rail. Now see, what I decided to do, I decided to take that chain out at the bottom that I'd put in and put a U-bolt in and a bit more chain. I don't know why, I got no idea why I did that, but I just thought I'd do it. I suppose I did it because I can. My drawing, nothing to do with the reference photo. Yeah, just going over the chain mesh. It was really just blocking it in. Now I decided I'm going to put the little twigs and branches that are in there. They're in the background, so they're sort of out of focus, but I don't want them too out of focus. Otherwise, might as well just left them out. But I don't want them too detailed either. And again, I'm just using artistic license because this is not exact by any means. And they're blocking them in. That's where I'm sort of deciding there how much detail am I going to put in. So I'll block them in first. Just using the side of my pencil. Using an H pencil. I don't want it too dark. Now I'm putting in the shading in between the top rail there that's been broken in the bottom rail. So that's the post that's getting shaded there. A bit hard to sort of work that out at the moment, but once we go in and do the detail, it'll become more apparent. Yeah, this is where I'm just going in, and in the reference photo, it's darker around those areas. It's like it hasn't been burnt, but it's been seared or charred by the flames. Now I've decided to finish off the chain mesh. It's just a process. We just go along and do what we can as we can when we can. I wasn't happy with that, so I decided to just change that a little bit. And that's what you do, you know. With graphite drawing, you take a bit out, put a bit in. I keep talking about it, but it's the process. It's just how the process is. You know, after the fires and that, everywhere you go when you drive around, you see all these fences and that, and they're burnt. They've all got to be pulled down and re-erected. And I just felt that it had to be part of this drawing. Well, the reason for the drawing was because everywhere you drove, that was the most, to me it stood out the most, the charred remains of fences. Just putting a bit more detail in there. And I guess that's the reason I chose the fence to draw, because like I said, the fire has no boundaries, and fences are boundaries, you know, they keep them stock in, and they can also be boundaries as in territory, you know. This is my land, and that's your land. This is the fence that divides it. I'm using my micro brush. They're great little tool, those. I got that idea off Smoothie77. He's a graphite artist. Well, he does all sorts of art on Patreon, and I've been following him for a few years. I really like his way of doing things. Doing a bit of detail. It's not a lot of detail, but I don't really want to do much more to those background branches and little twigs and that, because they are really in the background. Once again, just using artistic license, putting them where I think they should go. And I find with reference photos that, you know, I love the idea of the photo. I want to draw it, but there's parts I don't like. So being an artist, I guess we have the luxury of being able to use artistic license to enhance the image, to put things where we want them to go. Even when I'm doing my commission work, you know, if someone will want a house done, and the trees, I love putting trees in, and I always say to them, you know, I've got to put some trees in, and there might not be any trees exactly right by the house, but on the property, and I'll put them in. One case there I had, it was a beautiful I forget what, a bottle tree, and it had been hit by lightning, and it was just sort of out of shot of the photo. But I said to the client, I said, look, I'd love to put that in, it's got to go in, and he agreed, and it just made it just sort of, it just set it off lovely. And the same with these drawings, you know, I'll put things in that I think are going to make the picture better. Of course, that's not doesn't mean that it's going to be better, but in my mind, that's how I'm thinking anyway. Putting in a bit of detail now in the branch down the bottom there. Well, it's about here I've decided it's probably time to finish off here. We've got most of the underdrawing in, and all really is left just to do some detail. So be sure to come back and watch the part 3, and we'll see if we can get it all finished in part 3.
Well, I'm glad you watched to the end, and I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, to all you lovely mums out there, happy Mother's Day on Sunday. Now, I want to give a shout out to Damo's Art World. Now, Damo is an oil painter. Oh, and he does some beautiful art. He's actually a fellow Kiwi from the land of the long white cloud, or Aotearoa in Māori. And like I say, he's an oil painter, and he paints beautiful, detailed cars, Ferraris and Fords, and beautiful. You wouldn't know, you think they were photographs. And he does aeroplanes, big jumbo liners, and he paints the cockpit view where say you're looking out. He's amazing. I mean, he's even got a Concorde there, you know, he's just, it's a lot of. And the other thing he does too, he's also a bit of a mixer of cocktails. Is that what you call him? A mixologist? Anyway, he likes making cocktails. And I'm not much of a cocktail fan myself, but I do enjoy the old occasional jug of margaritas in the summertime on a really hot day. So check him out. I'll leave a link down there below, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. In fact, I know you will. Living in a different part of the world like me, not in the same part, but a different part. Amazing. Yeah, so you want to go and check him out. Tell him Robbie Greer sent you over. And he's also got a merch shop as well, so he's got a lot of his artwork on sale, you can buy it. It's worth checking out, I'm telling you. But I think that's about it. So stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.